Everyone, welcome back to SAT Math Question of the Day. Here's our question of the day. Please try it, pause the video, and then come back and we will try to do it. Okay, here we have a table. Materials recycled by states. So you got 3 states and you got 5 materials. A waste management survey collected data about the types of materials that were recycled by 3 different states in 2008. Seth's already ahead. Wow. The table shows the approximate amount of each material recycled, measured in thousands of tons. Based on the information in the table, as a percentage, approximately, what is the relative frequency of plastics, right? Of plastics, although we're not supposed to write anything until we read the whole question, remember? So you get a penalty for that.
I take my penalty.
Okay, approximately, what is the relative, but I get a penalty too, because I did that. What is the relative frequency of only plastics recycled in only New Mexico? In plastics recycled in all 3 states combined. So we have to be careful here because we have to be careful what we put in the numerator and what we put in the denominator. So what do we want? We want the approximately what is the relative frequency of plastics recycled in New Mexico. Okay, that's only 3. What is the relative frequency of plastics recycled in New Mexico in plastics recycled in all 3 states combined? Yeah, so you add up those things, the 18, the 3, and the 12. So it's 3 over the sum of 3, 12, the sum of 18, 3, and 12. Right, which is about 1 over 11, which is about 9%. Yep, that's how you do it.
Yeah.
Right. Oh, there's something.
Well, it's easy to see that of these
10%,
choices, it's 9%.
Right, but 10%
it's roughly 10%, but the denominator is 11 instead of 10, so it's a little less than 10%.
But
and the only choice that's a little less than 10% is 9%.
Right, but
2% is too low.
Right, I know.
And 25% is too high.
People have a calculator.
Don't use a calculator.
Right, you're right. There are two ways to do this.
You
can use a calculator or not use a calculator. Some people may be more comfortable using a calculator, and if they are, then
then they'll be slower.
Minimally. It depends on how. Right, now this is the digital SAT. So if you use the calculator, then you have to open up the calculator on the computer. But you may be allowed to bring your own calculator to the digital SAT. You better check with your guidance counselor. So this is a fairly straightforward problem. You just have to know what they mean by relative frequency. It's mostly common sense.
Well, it means it's what it's why you go to school. They teach vocabulary.
Right. And that's why when you study for the digital SAT or MS SAT, you go to Khan and learn about all this stuff and do practice questions. And they'll tell you. You'll learn what this means. It's a table question, and there's really nothing.
Notice that the units the arithmetic is all done in units of thousands of tons.
Right.
But since the units for every number, the unit for every number is the same, and you're dealing with ratios, the relative frequencies are unit-free numbers. They are ratios.
Right.
Which are often denoted by percents, and so you don't have to, and it's a waste of time, to write the numbers out like 3,000.
Can I ask you a question, Seth? The English is a little weird. Is this correct? Approximately, what is the relative frequency of plastics recycled in Mexico? Shouldn't they say 2? Plastics recycled in all 3 states combined?
In instead of 2?
Yeah, what do you think about that? No. It's this one. This in.
Oh, yeah.
What is the relative
frequency in New Mexico? They made a mistake. It's just better to say 2.
See, that's what.
Is a relative frequency. I think 2 is better, but in is acceptable.
Yeah, it'd be more What is
frequency
what is the
in
relative frequency of you eating whatever? What's the relative frequency of you having broccoli to
days
all your
for
vegetables? To all
frequency
of
of
your
days you eat broccoli
days you eat
to
vegetables.
all days.
Right, yeah. So it should be a 2. That's what confused me when I read this. This in. That's really anyway.
Well, but
Because you're comparing things. You're comparing one thing
yeah.
to another when you're
Well,
doing relative frequency.
natural language is there are multiple ways of saying the same thing.
Yeah, of course. Okay, today's Throwback Thursday, so we have a lot to do today. So let us clear this. Let us test. Throwback Thursday, we go back 25 years, maybe a little less, to questions that the SAT had, and you'll see some differences between the questions. Okay, let's see. Okay, nice work. We answered the question. Look how inconsistent they are. Sometimes we have to do the hint, sometimes we have to click that. Okay, so we are looking for the relative frequency of plastics recycled in New Mexico. Look at us. Look at us. It is a compared to. Look at that. Compared to. So they changed it on us, right? The answer had a the answer had a compared to. What is the relative frequency of plastics in New Mexico compared to? They changed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but whatever. So I'm sure they did the same. Yeah, they did the same thing we did. Although something is can't see something there. Wait, what's going on? Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. Something is messed up on the end there. Anyway, it's exactly what we did. Seth wrote it out. Number of plastics in New Mexico compared to all the plastics in all 3 states. And you just do it. They don't do what Seth did. They don't do any non-calculator math. They don't show how to show that it's 9%. They didn't even go 1 over 11, right? Right? They didn't do this, which is better. So anyway, they get these. Okay. So today is Throwback Thursday, where we go back to a test from many years ago. Here we go. In the book. The old-fashioned book when they had books. And here it is. I did not look at this. I glanced at this question enough just to realize that, this question is different from anything you'd ever get in post-2016. Looks to me like algebra. Anyway, this is one of these weirdo questions that they used to put on where they give you 2 columns, column A and column B, and then they say answer A if column A is greater, and answer B if column B is greater, C if the 2 are equal, and D if you can't tell which one is greater or less. So it looks sort of algebraic, and let's give it a shot, right? X, plain old X, looks, and then 4Z. Everything has to be in one variable, otherwise we can't do the comparison, right? Like, isn't 3x is equal to 2r?
The quantities are dependent. The x, y, and z are dependent.
Yeah, I know. So
you could eliminate r.
Yeah, r is equal to 3 over 2x.
And then eliminate y, and you'll get x.
Yeah.
Is in terms of z.
Right, and y is equal to 5z over 2. Y is 5z over 2. That doesn't really help you, though. What am I doing?
Could you erase that blue stuff?
I'm erasing everything. I'm going down the wrong path.
Let's do the elimination systematically.
Go ahead.
Let's just do it. Yeah. So
yes, they're all dependent on each other.
How we could eliminate here is. Okay, let me do this.
Notice that this is taking us time.
We're given that z is equal to 2/5 y. Y is given by 5/12 R. So that's equal to 2/5 of 5/12 R.
Right.
And then we're interested in X. So we could solve for R in here.
Well, no,
X
you can
is
make the
equal to
comparison
2/3
now.
R.
Wait, now you can just make the comparison
Yeah,
directly.
yes. X is equal to 2/3 R. So R is equal to 3/2 of X. So we can eliminate R. So that's equal to Z is equal to 2/5 of 5/12 of 3/2 of X. So we've written Z in terms of X, right? So what we could do is solve for X and get a certain number of Z. Let's see, 3/2. It's 3/2 there. 3/2. So this is some positive number, right?
Wait, I already got the answer. This
4Z
the 4Z is 3 over 12R, and
yeah.
the X is
Okay,
3 over
there's a
2R.
problem here. We don't know whether
Seth, I already did it.
that we don't know whether these quantities, whether they're negative or positive.
Oh, come on. They're positive. Oh, shoot. Oh, damn. Well, wait. But let's say they're both positive. Then what is 8 over 12? It's 3.
It's less than 1.
No. 8 over 12 compared to 3 over 2. Oh, 8 over... Okay, so this number's bigger. So if they're positive, X is bigger. I think. Unless I made a stupid mistake. Do you see how I did it, Seth? You see how I did it? You were very smart. You were very smart to say Z is this thing, right? They want 4Z. So you multiply this silly thing by 4. Okay? And you have something in R. Right? And X is also in R. X is 2/3 R. And 4Z is 2 times 5 times 4 divided by 2 times 12 times R. See? You just compare the two. But you're right. R can be less than 1. Right?
Yeah.
So if R is less than 1, then what about negative 1.5 compared to negative... Oh, you're right. Oh, my goodness. If R is less than 1, so you can't tell, right?
That's right. No. If R is negative.
Yeah, well, less than... I meant negative, right. If R is negative, then it flips. Nasty question.
If R is 0, then they're equal. If R is negative, the sign goes one way. And if R is positive, it goes the other way.
Oh, my God. I can't... Yeah. Wow. Well, the person who answered the book said C, but that's just a person. He or she is probably wrong. So let's go to the answer. You know, actually, if you're really smart, which neither of us seem to be, you could have probably noticed that immediately. Maybe.
Yeah. Well, maybe. What's happened is there's a dependency. Is a ratio dependency,
right,
between all the 3 variables.
Wait a second.
If you're really smart, you would see that all 3 variables are dependent on each other by a non-zero ratio.
Wait.
And in fact, a positive ratio.
Seth, the answer in the book is they're equal. Oh, shoot. I made a stupid mistake. Wait. No, I didn't.
Let's actually do it. We should simplify this guy.
Okay. I'm going to erase all my stuff, okay?
This guy here is the 5s cancel and the 2s cancel, and we get 1/4. So I said Z equals 1/4 of X. In other words, 4Z equals X, which is they're equal.
Oh wow! So I made a stupid mistake.
So that's the thing. We overlooked simplifying that product of three numbers.
Wait. So what did I do
Turns
wrong?
out the product of the three numbers I wrote is a quarter.
Hmm.
So the ratio of z of x and 4z, the ratio they do relate by a ratio, but the ratio is 1.
Right.
That means they're equal,
Yeah.
no matter what z is, whether it's 0, positive, or negative.
Wait. So can I go back? What did I do wrong? I'm getting frustrated. What did I do wrong? X is 2/3 R. Wait. Uh. Wait. What? Oh, so frustrating. How do I? There we go. Okay. X is 2/3 R, right? 4z is 4 times 2 divided by 5 times y, right? Right? But y is y, right? This is 4z is 4 times 2 divided by 5 times y, right?
Z equals
4z is 4 times
why do
this.
you know that? Why do you know that z is 2/5 of y?
Because they tell you z is 2/5 y.
Oh, okay.
So I multiply by 4 to get 4z, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Now the y is 5/12r. So we take this y and we change it to 5/12r. Right?
Yeah.
Now we are comparing 4z to x, right? Oh man, I forgot to divide by 4. Wait. You're comparing 4z. No. We have 4z to x. That's what we're being asked to compare, right? Yeah, so, yeah. So I see the mistake, right? And that's what we have to compare. X is 2/3 R. Z is this. So these cancel. So 4Z is 8/12R, which is divided by 4, 2/3 R, and they are the same. So before I can go back to the video, I made a stupid mistake, simplify. Yeah. Okay, so at least I found my mistake.
I have to watch out for that. Yeah.
You have to watch out. We're not going to go back together and look at what I did wrong.
No, it's a tricky with if the ratio of two quantities is 1, they're equal.
Yeah.
But if it's non-zero and not 1, then the comparing which one is larger depends on the sign.
Right. So Seth, I went a little too. How did? Okay, this is how I did it. How did you do it? Could you show me again?
I just systematically eliminated so that I could get x in terms of z or vice versa.
X.
So I got, you scraped it out. I got, what did I do? I started by, I wrote.
Maybe in ratio.
Yeah, I solved, what I did was calculate z in terms of x. That's what I did.
Z in terms of x by eliminating
y and r.
By eliminating r, right? Z,
y, and r.
Right. So you said z was 2/5 y, but y is 5/12 r, and then
I solved for r.
R is
3x of x.
3x over 2. So this is what z is.
Yeah.
Right.
Z is this ratio, and then this ratio simplifies to a quarter.
Right. So
Z is a
Z.
quarter of x,
So 4Z.
and so x is 4 times z.
Right. Yeah, okay. Okay. I mean, either way, this makes sense. But you sort of have to do one of those two ways.
Yeah, I think I think that careful sequencing of elimination is less error prone.
I don't know. I mean, substitution, when it's done neatly.
Substitution is elimination.
Yeah, but
Same
all
thing.
I did was substitute.
Well, I did the same thing. I substituted this expression for y into y, and then instead of substituting x, so I had z in terms of r,
Right.
and I wanted to substitute something for r. So I solved for r.
Right.
And substituted r into
Right.
the expression for z.
But let me raise my hand. When I did substitution, I didn't have to solve for anything. You run a risk when you're solving for R because you're solving for something. It's nasty. You can make a mistake solving for R. The way I did it is I didn't have to solve for anything. I just substituted all the way through. I threw the y.
So how'd you do that?
What I did is I was in R world. I stayed in R world.
Oh, so you wrote everything in terms of R.
Right. I got X as a function of R. What I did is I got X as a function of R.
Okay, let's see what you got. X equals 2/3 R
as a function of R.
And Y. Well, okay, and then you needed Z, and then you got Z.
Yeah, we have Z.
Is equal to a quarter. Z is equal to 2/5
Y. But Y is given as this. But Y is given as that.
Of R.
Right.
Which is 1/6 of R.
And then they want 4Z.
And then you calculated 4Z.
Right.
So 4Z is equal to 4/6 of R.
Which is 2/3 R.
Which is also known as 2/3 R.
Right.
And you got 4Z is equal to X.
Right. See, I didn't solve anything. I didn't have to invert this expression, which can be dangerous. Not that I got it right the first time, right?
Yeah.
But a substitution is very powerful. So anyway, I'll leave it at that. The essay
substitution is a simple form of elimination.
Substitution is a simple form of elimination. So, but I still made a stupid mistake, and I'm sorry I carried you along because when you said, anyway, I'm sorry. I don't know what you were getting close to that. I carried you
and me. What you didn't recognize that all the variables were dependent. No, because there was common, R is common.
No, that's not my mistake.
R is common to the
go back. My mistake was when I read 2/8/12R. I didn't read it, and I had the 2/3 R. I didn't realize these were the same. That's all.
But initially,
you thought
they were all different.
Initially, I was variables. But that was very smart too. I probably would have eventually figured it. I was floundering a little, which is what you do on these tests. You flounder a little.
Yeah.
But this you got to figure out what to do. This is not a 1 second problem. This is not a This is not a problem that you can do instantly. You sort of got to figure out how to eliminate and what to do with this. We don't have the way they did it.
I think the trick was it could mislead people who jump to the conclusion that, like I did, that the ratio when two quantities differ by a ratio, when they're different.
Yes. Yes, you actually have to work it out.
The magnitude comparison changes with the sign.
That's
but
right.
They don't differ by a ratio. They're equal by a ratio.
Then you know exactly which one. No,
and
no,
the equality is a consequence of the particular numbers that they gave you.
Right.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you will probably never see a question like this on the modern post-2016 SAT. Oh yeah, who are we? With Seth. Seth's a PhD in math from MIT, Professor Emeritus in Computer Science at SUNY Albany. I have a PhD in mechanical engineering, and we try to go over SAT math questions and try to offer different approaches on how to do the questions. And then we suggest a good approach to studying for the math SAT is to get yourself a Khan Academy account, and they offer 2 courses, the digital course and the non-digital course. Take whichever course is appropriate to you. Talk to your guidance counselor as to which type of SAT you're going to take. And please leave us comments on our YouTube videos. Like us, dislike us, but comments are more than encouraged. And if you have any SAT math questions, please email them to us at satmathquestionoftheday@gmail.com. I guess that does it for today, right?
Yep.
I hope everybody got a sense as to Throwback Thursday, and sort of like the test had a real different feel. Not that every question was like this, but there were enough of these where the test felt different. Okay, everyone, have a great day.
Hey, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Everybody.